what I want to do in this video is just give you an update on the things I've been doing during my rebrand. And if you are new to my channel, my name is Nalah, and I specialize in helping you create a personal brand. And not only that, make income generating content. Now, did you just hear what I just said? That little spiel is a part of my rebranding. To be honest with you, that felt a bit cringeworthy, and I don't even know if that's going to be how I go about it, but going forward, I really want to challenge myself to have a tagline, brand tagline in my videos. So we're jumping into it. Like that is number one. That is one, not number one, but that's the first point I'm sharing with you in terms of like what I've been working on in my rebrand. Why do I want a brand tagline? Well, because I'm building an education brand, or education is a large part of how I'm showing up on YouTube, I really think it's helpful, one, for me to repeat this kind of tagline in my videos so that I can just really know my shit and know what I'm here doing. And then also the viewer really starts to understand when they watch my content, when they're on my channel, this is what they can expect from me. This is what I'm here talking about, and like I said, I might tweak that brand tagline, but I want to have it, even though it is going to feel uncomfortable at first saying it, because I haven't been doing that. I haven't really been introducing myself, but it's like, now that I am more sure of myself in this space on YouTube, I want to introduce myself. You never know who's on that other side of the camera. And if this was in person, I would be saying who I am. Now, I don't need to take a whole minute, 2 minutes to explain and do this and that, but I want to do a little something. So we still working on the brand tagline. And I think a theme of my rebranding so far has to do with brand messaging. Brand messaging is really the language, the words, the things people read when they come in contact with your brand, the things that you say repeatedly, the words that come out your mouth that you start to kind of be known for in a sense. You can be intentional about that brand messaging, and if you are, it could really go a long way. So I took a look at my website. In my last video, the one prior to this one, I'm like, this is the video I make before really leveling up. What I had done at that point was change my brand colors, and you can see that mostly reflected on my website. We went from like a blue and yellow to this really vibrant and electric green, and some different, you'll see over time the full palette, but right now it's like this kind of pink, not a hot pink, not a bubble gum pink, but really a pink that matches with my skin tone really well. I'm kind of going on a tangent, but let me just say this. I took some time to figure out what my season is, like what my colors are. You can look this up on YouTube if you don't know what I'm talking about, but there's certain colors that flatter us more than others. And I took some time to see what is the category that I fall into. The system that I'm referring to of like seasons, they have something called like spring, like deep spring or summer, or you can be in autumn or winter. I'm in the winter category. I'm a deep/dark winter. Please look this up if you're interested in like learning what colors flatter you. But I found that out, and I wanted to bring that into my brand colors. So that's what I did. So in this week that I've really given myself to really focus more so on these different elements of my brand outside of the content itself, I took a look at my website. We changed the colors. What is being said on my website right now? I'm obviously evolving as a creator, as an entrepreneur, as a, how I'm showing up online. the words and the copy on my website need to reflect that. So I did a really overhaul of my website and pretty much changed most of the wording on my website. For me, that takes a different level of thinking, really putting yourself in someone else's shoes if they land on your website and taking into consideration, how are these words going to fall on them? How are they going to interpret this, read this, everything like that? Making sure it's not too wordy. That was one of the things I have as feedback from my first version of my website. Too much words. As someone whose first love is writing, as someone who got into creative work and everything by way of copywriting, I could say a lot through words, and I did that on the first version of my website. But I've learned that a lot of people are probably going to visit my website through mobile. Even if they're on desktop, they don't need to be hit with a wall of words. So I cut things back, really trim the fat word wise, and really got clear with like, all right, if you're checking out my website and you're just trying to see what's up, blah, 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 real quick, that home page, it doesn't need to be filled with words. If I have more to say or if someone wants to go in deeper, let's take them to a different spot for those that want to get into it a bit more. So that was one of the things that I worked on this week, and it did take up, a lot of brain space, time, and energy to trim the fat, but I'm happy that I did. I'm much more happy with my website. One thing I want to point out to you, all the freebies or the resources, tools that I've made for my community so far, I didn't have that living in one space. I made a couple worksheets or a few worksheets for my community, and I had them linked under the videos that they go with, but not everyone may have seen that video. Not everyone watches every single one of my videos. So if a new subscriber came to my channel and they visited my website, I would want them to see, okay, Nalah created some tools, some resources, some things to use in order to help me on my personal branding journey / YouTube journey / content creation journey. I have made those things for you. Now, in order to get those, I do ask for an email. And while I'm in the process of gearing up to launch my service, launch a digital product, do things, there's levels to this branding stuff. And as I'm gearing up, why should I not build my email list? So when I did my personal website back in February, I had a little thing for people to drop their emails in, and slowly but surely over these months, I've been building my email list, building it. Have I sent out a newsletter yet? No. But I want to build up to that, work up to that. I don't want to just rush that. And I'm going to get there. That's another phase, but why not build my email list in the meantime? So something else that I did was I took a look at my YouTube homepage. Now, this is my second time rearranging or curating my YouTube homepage. I remember the first time I did it, I got rid of my channel trailer. And I'm telling you this, and I maybe I should have said this preface earlier, and I may have made a whole intro already that does say this preface, but I'm sharing these things with you in detail, really as a way to give you inspiration for different things that you may want to do as you're building your brand here online. So yeah, I had gotten rid of my channel trailer because it was the first video I posted on this channel, and I posted my first video on this channel with the intention of it being a trailer. But as I've grown on my channel, that first video doesn't really represent me, and I had to get rid of that. So this time around, the second iteration, I really wanted to take advantage of the video that has performed extremely well, like my best performing video on this channel. It's a live stream. Live streams do not if someone clicks on the video tab of your YouTube channel, that's not gonna, the videos are gonna show up, not the live streams. And it's like, I don't know how often people like look through the live stream tab or anything like that. So it's like if you knew, you knew, or you saw the video, if it came up on your homepage, you knew that this was my best performing video. Otherwise, it was kind of like buried, I felt like, and hidden. So I created a playlist that is called like Start Here, and it's at the very top of my homepage. And the first video on that playlist is my best performing video. I want to, like, this is behind the scenes, you know? So I'm being transparent with how I'm thinking about going about doing things. And numbers look good. Like, it could be a sense of like, like, it could pique somebody's interest to be like, why did over 85,000 people watch this video, this hour long stream? And thankfully for me, that my best performing video has a lot to do with the clarity and the way my brand is moving right now. That video really, in a way, kind of pushed me on the path that I'm on right now, in a way. So yeah, like, I'm going to take advantage of that. I'm going to have this great, from a number standpoint, because I have great videos on here that didn't perform nearly as well. But hey, this is the one that took off. Let me take advantage of that, is basically the point that I'm trying to make. I made that playlist and just kind of like, I privated like 2 of my live streams because I didn't have a thumbnail for them, and they were more so like Q&A things. I don't feel the need to keep it up. If I want to put it back, I'll put it back. But like, I just basically went through and curated my homepage to be as best of a reflection of where the channel is right now. Another thing that I did was I changed my like YouTube about, or the description on my YouTube channel. I really spent some time getting clear on that, because these exercises of curating the homepage, doing the website, this and that, and the things that I'll continue to go over in this video, not only is it good for the community that's being built online, your viewers, but it's so good for you as the creator. It was so good for me as the creator. I really craved this clarity because I felt a shift happening in my channel. I just hadn't taken the time to sit down and put words to that. I hadn't taken the time to really like get that messaging clear. So I felt my bio, my about section, it needs to change, you know? And the first, I think like 100 characters or so, that first line is shows completely on mobile, and the rest of it, someone would have to click more or see the rest in order to see everything else. So I really thought long and hard about that line. And I thought long and hard about the rest of the whole about section. I don't know who reads it, but if someone does read it, I really want it to be a true reflection of what's going on right here, right now on this channel. In my last update video, or whatever, the last video, I had changed my banner, you know, that long banner thing on your channel that's a part of your channel branding. I changed the color, but there was no words on it. There was nothing on it. And I just needed some time to think about what the words or what I want it to look like outside of just a different color. So I came up with something that I felt comfortable with. And, you know, all these changes that I made this week, a part of me struggled, because even though I feel like I could do this for somebody else, and I have done brand identity for people in the past, doing it for myself, you know, I had gotten into the space like, ooh, I wish I could outsource this and have a dedicated designer work on this and everything like that. But I had to lean into trusting myself and trusting my own abilities. And ultimately, I'm in a phase of my brand development where I have to be on that DIY type of wave. Like, I don't have, I don't have it to continue throwing money at this. Where it's necessary, all this equipment that I have and every investment that has been made into doing this, is spent, The monthly charges to do content creation, to build a business, that's being spent. And where I can do it myself, I've learned I just have to. There will come a time and a place where I can outsource this and work with people who are doing this all the time in terms of designing channel banners and this and that. But I got to do it myself right now. I also took some time to update a few of my thumbnails. You know that playlist I told you about where it's like start here, some of those videos, I think they're really core to my brand messaging right now and where I'm taking my content in the near future. And I just wanted to, since they're front and center on my homepage, I just wanted some better thumbnails. So I did that. One of the things I wanted to do was update my profile picture. And like in hindsight, I had to get to this point, but I was so like, ooh, I don't want to post another video with this profile picture. I want a profile picture with my bob. Not this one. But it's like, these are details that I care about. And, to some degree, they do have importance. But it's not, it shouldn't stop me from posting content, So I quickly got over that. And I realized that I'll have to take my own professional pictures or take my own new profile picture, and I'll do that. I'll get to it, but I can't let that stop me from posting a video. And just on the other topic of pictures, the pictures on my website, they need to be updated. They need to reflect my current visuals that I'm giving right now. But that has to be in a later phase. I'm going to try and take care of that within the month of July, which is the month right now at the time of filming this video. I guess before I get into what's next on my plate in terms of like this brand work that I want to continue doing, I did take some time to make sure where I'm storing all of these brand building related things, which is in my Notion, is just a little bit more organized. Things were kind of all over the place, and I just needed to have everything in one central location. So that's what I did. What else am I trying to get into? What else is on my to-do list in terms of building this brand, which, it's a never ending to-do list, but there's just some concrete things that I'm trying to get done and I'm trying to get handled. I want to have, I kind of just mentioned this, but I want to have a dedicated photo shoot or my own. It's DIY. I got this camera, I have another camera, I have my phone camera. Like I have stuff that I can put together a more intentional photo shoot that really shows the vibe that I'm trying to give off with my personal brand. So that's something that I have to kind of plan for. I have to get like some mood boards together, think about what shots that I want to get, everything like that. That's something that I want to do. I also want to work on my consulting service that I want to launch and really get into planning that launch and what that will look like. I want to think of what other ways can I make my personal brand come to life. And I know that's pretty vague. I don't have it all figured out and thought out, but what could a potential revamp of Nalah Wright on Instagram look like? How can I get ready to come back to Instagram? Or how can what would a TikTok look, what would a Nalah Wright TikTok look like? Now that we have this brand messaging, this direction, what does it look like on other platforms? Not that I'm ready to get on other platforms, but I want to start getting the wheels turning on what does that look like on social what does my personal brand look like on other social media platforms? How can I take the color palette that I've chosen and use that in my digital product that I want to launch, and how I want to continue to get back to building my digital product because there's been a pause on it. I want to start thinking about what type of cadence do I want to be on with my newsletter. I have a lot of different aspects of my personal brand still left to build out. And like I said, this is like going to be a work in progress for a very long time. But this is what I'm working on right now. Like, this brand work has felt really fulfilling, and I'm happy I gave myself, I scaled back with the videos, like the number of videos I've been putting out. I think this is the first time I only posted one video a week in, like a couple months. And it felt weird at first, but just the way things have been moving, I just wanted to dial in and focus on this. And I did read a comment on my last video from a dear friend of mine that I have gotten to meet here through YouTube, Brianna. She just was like, you have sprints. I know that term because my husband uses it at his job, and you have a sprint where you work on specific things and you just give your attention to those specific things. And I really wanted to give my time and attention to these small details of my brand, but details that matter to me and give me the clarity and give anyone else on the other side clarity as well. One other thing that I feel like mentioning is like, I've been thinking about this brand messaging and the colors and just how I'm showing up here, definitely in terms of the viewer, but I also think about it in terms of other brands, like corporate brands that may want to work with me in the future. And they need to have this, like, I need to have messaging that makes it clear to them, like, okay, yeah, the customers we're looking for, she is attracting them, So I've been looking at it from two different perspectives. So I'm just trying to spill everything that I've been thinking about, so that like I said already, if this is stuff that you want to start thinking about, I'm big on like personal branding. I'm gonna really start sharing in various ways how beneficial I think it is for us as content creators, us as entrepreneurs, us as you fill in the blank for what you think fits you and what you got going on in your life. Personal branding is going to take us very, very far. Creating income generating content, in order to do that or to maximize that, a personal brand is going to be super crucial, super important. It's going to be something that we won't regret investing in and putting time in to build. So yeah, I'm really excited. I'm really excited. I appreciate the encouragement from everyone who has voiced it, and even like people who's just watching and they're like, okay, let's turn up, because that's really the goal here is like, let's turn up. Okay, let's turn up. Yeah, so I hope this is valuable to you in some way. I'm in the midst of it. I'm in motion right now, okay? My hope is maybe I need another week, but my hope is once I finish getting to the point, there's always a point enough where I feel like, all right, I could dial back in more on the content. Whatever that point is, my hope is that I'm going to repeat this. I already said this in the last video, but it's like I really want to execute on the video ideas that really represent this brand that I'm building. This video, it does fall in line because I'm about sharing my journey as well. I'm not just sitting here to like be like, only videos where it's super like, hey, you should do this and you should do that. Like, I'm only telling you what you should do based off of what I'm doing, or a lot of times it's based off of what I'm doing or research, or I don't even want to get too far away from the the main message of this point that I'm trying to make, that I honestly, I lost my train of thought. But I'm excited nonetheless, and I'm ready. I can't wait to feel like that was the point. Like, I'm at a good place in terms of the branding, the different aspects outside of the content, right? And I'm ready to really push with the content, push with the other ways of monetizing my content and everything like that. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye bye.